If you're over 50, pause for a moment, because what you're about to hear is something most people won't say out loud. Not your coworkers, not your friends, not even the financial experts on television. For years, you've been told the same thing, that you need $1 million to retire comfortably. It sounds smart. It sounds responsible. It sounds like the kind of goal you were supposed to be chasing all along. And if you haven't reached it, it can feel like you're already behind. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. 9 out of 10 Americans will never reach that number. Not because they were reckless, not because they didn't work hard, not because they didn't care about their future, but because life doesn't move in straight financial lines. It interrupts, it shifts, it demands things your plan never accounted for. And yet, here's the part that almost no one explains. Many of those same people still retire, not perfectly, not luxuriously, but peacefully, which raises a deeper question. Maybe the problem isn't that people are failing. Maybe the problem is that they've been chasing the wrong number all along. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll understand why $1 million is not the real retirement goal. What actually determines whether you feel safe or stressed in retirement. The quiet strategies people use when they don't hit the number. And what you can still do, starting right where you are, to protect your future. This is not about catching up. This is about getting it right from here. Let's talk about someone real. Let's call him Robert Hale. Robert is 67 years old. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. He worked for over 40 years in warehouse operations. Not a glamorous career, not a high-paying one, but steady, reliable. He showed up. He did his job. He paid his bills. And like most people, he believed one thing: if I just keep working, I'll be fine. For most of his life, retirement was a general idea, something he would figure out later. He contributed to a retirement account when he could, skipped it when life got tight, helped his kids when they needed support, paid for repairs, handled emergencies, lived a normal life. But normal life has a pattern. It doesn't always leave room for perfect financial planning. Here is the reality check. At 65, Robert finally sat down and looked at his numbers. Not casually, not roughly, honestly. His total retirement savings, just under $240,000. No million, not even close. And in that moment, something hit him hard. Not fear, not panic, but a quiet question. Did I do something wrong? The truth most people never hear. This is where most people stop the story. They look at that number and assume failure. But here's what's important. Retirement is not just about how much you saved. It's about how your life is structured when income changes. And that's where everything shifts. The turning point. Robert didn't try to chase $1 million. He didn't panic invest. He didn't take big risks to catch up. Instead, he did something most people don't do. He changed the way he thought about money. Lesson 1, income matters more than a number. Robert asked a different question. Not, how much should I have saved? Not, in what number do experts say is enough? He asked something far more practical and far more honest. How much do I actually need every month to live my life? Not a number that sounds impressive. Not a number that looks good in conversation. Not a number driven by fear or comparison. Just the real cost of his life. He sat down and went through it slowly. Housing, food, utilities, insurance, transportation, small comforts, no exaggeration, no denial. And when he finished, the number came out to about $2,300 a month. Then he did something most people skip. He looked at what he already had coming in: Social Security income, a small pension from years of steady work, and a bit of part-time consulting he could do on his own terms. When he added it all together, something shifted. The pressure he had been carrying for years started to loosen, because for the first time, he wasn't guessing anymore. He wasn't chasing a distant, intimidating number. He was looking at a simple equation: what comes in versus what goes out. And in that moment, it became clear. He didn't need $1 million sitting in an account. He needed consistent cash flow to support his real, everyday life. That realization changed everything. Because people who struggle in retirement tend to chase big numbers they may never reach. But people who feel stable do something different. They understand their monthly reality, and they build their lives around it. People who struggle in retirement chase a number. People who feel stable manage their monthly reality. Lesson 2, housing is everything. Robert had one major advantage. His house was paid off, no mortgage. That single decision, made years earlier, changed everything. Because housing is the biggest expense for most people. Remove that, and pressure drops instantly. Lesson 3, control your burn rate. Robert simplified his life, not dramatically, not painfully, just intentionally. He tracked what he spent, what he didn't need, what actually made his life better. And something surprising happened. He didn't feel restricted. He felt in control. Lesson 4, avoid big financial mistakes. This is where many retirees lose everything, not because they didn't save, but because they sign the wrong documents, trust the wrong people, take unnecessary risks, fall into scams or bad advice. Robert made one rule. If I don't fully understand it, I don't sign it. That rule alone protected him. Lesson 5, keep a small stream of income. Robert didn't fully stop working. He adjusted. A few hours a week, light consulting, flexible work, nothing stressful, but it did something powerful. It reduced pressure on his savings and gave him purpose. Let's talk about the emotional shift at 67. Robert didn't feel rich, but he didn't feel afraid either. And that's the part most people miss. Retirement isn't about feeling wealthy. It's about feeling stable. That $1 million number, it's not wrong, but it's incomplete. Because without cost control, housing stability, income structure, risk awareness, even $1 million can disappear. What the other 9 do instead, they don't rely on a big number. They rely on monthly clarity, reduced expenses, simple, consistent income, protection from mistakes. They build systems, not just savings. Let me ask you something, honestly. Do you know how much you actually need each month to live comfortably? Not a guess, not a rough idea, a real number. Drop it in the comments, or just type, I'm figuring it out. Because clarity is where control begins. If you know someone close to retirement, already retired, or worried about money, send this to them, because most people are chasing the wrong goal and no one is correcting them. Final truth, only 1 in 10 Americans retires with $1 million. But the real question is this: do you need it to be okay? We share real money stories like this every single day, not to overwhelm you, but to help you see clearly. Because once you understand how money actually works in real life, you stop chasing numbers and start building stability. Subscribe. Stay close. Because the next story might not just change how you think, it might change how you live.